I'm sitting here just talking and I'm muted. Let me try it again. Okay. Welcome to Mosaic with TJ Randolph. I am TJ Randolph, and thank you for joining me for another iteration of Cocktails and Conversations. I'm very excited because I have a very special guest. Now, all my guests are special, no doubt. If you notice, I'm a little bit, a little extra tonight because my guest required me to step up my game just a little bit because she is a fashionista in the truest sense. Okay? But before we get to it, I got to do the announcements. Shout out to my husband and all the hardworking truckers that are driving on the highways and byways, bringing us our much needed goods. So shout out to my baby who's on the road. Shout out to my firstborn nephew on the horn, whose music you all hear on the intro. Rhyan Spunk Adams, my firstborn nephew, my baby before I had a baby. He can be found on Instagram on I Am Spunk. His music is on Apple Music and also Spotify. We are listening to his song Shoreline. Shout out to Micki-Redd, who is responsible for all of my digital marketing. She's trying to grow your auntie to help bring me into this century with marketing, digital marketing, and all that stuff. It's over my head, but she got me. She got me. So before I go any further, I want to give some hellos. Now I got to give a hello and a shout out to my number one mod up in the place, RM. She keeps us on point. Before I could even think about something I want to put in the chat, she's already done it. So thank you, thank you, thank you. See here. Oh, and RM said, she said she subbed to your channel and loves her style. Oh yeah, she's straight up out the gate. Listen, we're gonna get into it, okay? See who else we got here. Thank you. You couldn't hit. Thank you. Classy Lady Squad. Oh, I love that. That's what I'm trying to bring back. We're talking about reclaiming the image, the female image, okay? Bring back class, sophistication, style, and grace. I'm all about it. Thank you for squaring me away. Okay, let's see who else we got here. All right. Hi, Tina G. And as you come into the studio or come into the platform, please like. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so. My channel is, for those who don't know and who came over by way of Angela, I want to thank you. And my channel is about lessons learned through my 54 years of life, to include the goods and the bad of parenting, relationships, love, marriage, the things I did well as the things I did not do so well. So that is what my channel is about. And in that journey is how I found her. So without further ado, I'm bringing her, Angela Mashelle, to the stage. Welcome her, shall we?
Hi. Oh, I'm so happy to be here. Thank you for inviting me. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you for accepting the invitation.
Of
Oh, I
course.
forgot. Tonight I'm drinking a mango margarita. I have put the ingredients in the description if you so choose to make one of your own. What are you drinking tonight, Miss Lady?
I'm drinking a mango margarita with a little fruit, and my husband fixed it for me while I was putting my makeup on. So he put a little fruit in there, a little extra, extra. You know, I'm a little extra sometimes.
Okay, I hear Shadi. Is that your daughter?
No, she's not here. I wish she was. Oh, she must be she's in the
She's
chat.
in
That's
the
my
chat.
baby. Yeah, that's my
Yes.
baby.
She said, "Hey, mommy." Listen, I call my mother mommy, and I'm 54. Okay.
Yes. Yeah, that's my baby.
Oh,
Oh.
okay. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Listen, before we get into it, I reached out to you. I think it was right after the new year, and I asked
Yes.
about a collaboration, right?
Hmm.
And what did you say?
I said, you know what? Last year I turned down speaking engagements because, believe it or not, I have a history of stage fright. I'm trying to work through that and get in a different mindset. And I told myself, I'm going to say yes, unless it conflicts with something else on my schedule, to every request for a speaking engagement in this 2022. And so I said, you were the first one that asked. Yes, I will indeed join you. I'm happy to do it.
Look at God, is what I say. I was the first in the place in 2022.
Yes,
What?
yes, 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 ma'am.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about you and your channel, please.
So I'll start with my background. I'm a nurse by trade. I've been a nurse for over 25 years. I started my YouTube channel while I was in Saudi Arabia. I just moved back to the States, to Texas, in August. I was there for 5.5 years as a nurse. As women, when we get to a certain age, sometimes we just are tired. You just get tired. And I felt like I just need a change. I need a change. I just need a change. And I was at work one day, like a lot of us do, looking for another job. And I just Googled nursing jobs overseas because I really wanted a change.
Wow.
And immediately the company came up and, oh, we're looking for nurses to work overseas. And I filled the application out. And about a year later, I wound up in Saudi Arabia. Was the best move I have ever made for myself. It was fun. I came back with a whole husband. And then very promising and inspirational YouTube channel. So um, I'm a wife. I have one child by birth, but I have a total of 3 children, and I have 2 grandchildren. So I'm blessed and highly favored.
Okay, so let's talk about, before we get into your channel, let's talk about the
Mhm.
Saudi Arabia.
Yes, yes.
Were you a little nervous about going over to Saudi Arabia?
Let
Had
me
you been
tell
out
you,
of the country before?
I've been on I've been on a cruise, but never like, out of the country. Never flown out of the country. And I am a woman of faith. Like me and God are like this. And so I prayed about it. I'm like, Lord, if this is not the move for me, please let me know, show me in some way, shape, or form. Didn't
Mhm.
hear anything, no no's. Okay, okay. I packed my bags, and it was funny because ignorance is bliss, And I googled Saudi Arabia a lot before I went, and there was very, very little information on the internet about any negative information. I figured out why after moving there, but um, didn't have any fear, didn't really know anything at all, and I knew I was going to be okay for 2 reasons. First of all, I prayed and God said, he didn't say no, not go. But the lady that met me at the airport, because I was like, I wonder if there are any black people in Saudi Arabia. We want to
Okay.
be comfortable, feel like home. It was
Right.
my thought. I wonder if there's going. The lady that met me at the airport, her name is Olga. We're still friends. Olga looked like me, short hair, dark skin, short hair. I mean, a short natural blonde dyed from the UK, and I was like, I'm gonna be okay. Then about a week later, I saw Kentucky Fried Chicken. I said, "Oh, I'm good. I'm good.
What?
I'm gonna be good. I can eat and I have a friend." So yeah, I've never had any doubts or any fears about going at all. I prayed about it, and I knew the Lord would take care of me. Yeah.
So, someone put in the chat, what type of nursing do you practice?
Well, I've been in a leadership role probably for the last 10 years, but I am a med surg nurse by heart. So I've worked in med surg when I worked on the floor and took care of patients. I was a med surg nurse. And then I got a master's degree in nursing administration. And so I started being I was already in a leadership role while I was going through school getting my master's degree. But yeah, I've been in a leadership role and done some case management in between for the last 10 years.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. So, what inspired your channel?
I was on YouTube, yeah, as we do. Sometimes I don't know if I was looking for some outfit inspiration type things. And so I was scrolling through YouTube. I was like,
Mhm.
and I saw all these ladies and all these channels, young ladies, 25, 30 years old with YouTube channels. I was like, okay, and don't nobody look like me doing fashion on YouTube. And I found maybe 3 ladies max, and they still weren't quite my age. They were over 30, maybe in their early 40s, and I was
Mhm.
in I was probably 46. at the time, 45, 46 at the time. And I was like, and I've always loved fashion, loved it from the time I was a little girl. My grandmother loves fashion, Tenny Ruth, bless her heart. My mother loved fashion. We just always loved it. And I told my husband, I was like, oh, I can't find anything on YouTube. I can do YouTube. I can get me a channel and do a fashion channel. What do you think? He was like, yeah, we can do it. You can do it. Yeah, I'll support you. And I was like, okay, all right. So, and we started researching. We researched probably for almost a year, around 9 months. He researched the technical end of it, the production end of it, and I researched the video, what type of videos I need to shoot, and the light. Well, we both did a little lighting and how to do the videos and what my niche should be, kind of. And I was like, okay, I want to be on YouTube what I was looking for, and that's really how I came up with my niche. I wanted to be that woman over 40 that loved fashion and could show me how to put some outfits together, and and that imperfect woman, because Lord knows I'm imperfect. And sometimes I make mistakes, but I wanted someone that I could relate to. And hopefully I can. But I get a lot of comments back. So a lot of ladies can relate to me and look forward to my fashion video. So that's what really inspired my videos.
Well, I have to tell you, I think, we talked on somebody, Candid Ann says, I've been subscribed to Angela for a while. Love her and
Oh.
production. Yeah, we're going to talk about production later. Love production. Production wins again, okay? You and I were talking the other day, and I told you, hey, Lucky Marie, Niecy Poo. So as we talked the other day, I told you, I loved fashion too. I remember when I was in the military early on, when I was a smaller me, I would thumb through magazines all the time. And that was because I was determined not to be one of those people that would look great in uniform, but the moment I took it off, I couldn't put my stuff together. So what I would do, I would get a lot of Vogue, I would get Glamour and these different magazines. In Style was my favorite magazine.
Yeah.
And look for different things. And then I was a serious thrifter, so I would try to find those things out and about. Something happened after 40. Something happened after 40. My mind could not put stuff together. I don't know. And then my body started to change. I couldn't dress this body. I'm like, what the hell is happening to me? I used to be a fashionista. I don't know what to do anymore. So I was really, and then too, being in my late 40s and now 50s, I wanted to dress what I felt was age appropriate. I wanted to look cute. I wanted to look pretty. I didn't want to try to look like my 27-year-old daughter, but I had a difficult time finding where to in the middle. So what I was like, oh, I love this. So when did you start your channel? You may have already said, when did you start your channel?
So it's about 2.5 years ago now. We shot our first video. Well, we created our first video in August. It took us the entire day, like all day. We started that morning and the sun was going down when we finished, and I was exhausted. There were clothes everywhere, and it was how to style one pair of jeans 5 ways. And I still have those jeans, by the way. And took my husband 2 weeks to actually produce the video, to do all the editing. Now he can edit a video in like less than 2 hours, easy. So it's been about 2.5 years. It was a struggle, or will I say a challenge at first, but we did research, and we continue to do our research. So that's, I think, why we got, I feel, better and better. If you look back at my older videos, you can see what I've progressed, and the video channel has gotten better. But our biggest challenge, and something we could not find on YouTube or anywhere, which I told my husband, you need to create some digital content around this, was lighting. And what they don't tell you, the lighting is not made for darker skin at all. So if you look at the videos, you'll see sometimes my skin just looks, you can't tell. And he would shoot the videos, and I would say, honey, that does not look like me. And he just didn't get it. And I was like, that's not look like me. That my skin that looked like my chocolate that look, and he just didn't get it. And coming from our era, when there was this light skin, dark skin thing, and where it took me some time to not just be okay with being dark skinned, but to be like, girl,
You better
Okay, you
understand.
get some of this. You better get some of this.
Angles, angles.
Yeah, yeah. Just and I wanted to see my skin look chocolate. It shouldn't be impossible, but that was our biggest challenge. We had to do a lot of research and a lot of trial and error with that. But I think we got it right now. I think we got it right.
It's fabulous, I tell you. And so one of the things I really am excited about since I just started my channel back May of 2021. And, a lot of women that are 40 and up,
Hmm.
they struggling just like me, struggling, how to feel pretty, how to feel,
Hmm.
even if I'm not at my ideal weight, but still, how do I feel pretty and confident in this body
Hmm.
until I get to where I want to be? But also, how do I step out there and, not only take care of my outer, but my inner? I
Hmm.
love some of the things that you've been putting out far as these tips of self-care. Okay.
Hmm. Hmm.
What made you do that? Fashion is one thing, that is the outer, but you focus on the inner too.
I do. I do. I was very, very insecure, probably all the way through my 20s and my early 30s. And my village, my village
Mhm.
is them ladies, they are everything. And I've learned so much. I have like a core of just like seven. I have two girlfriends that I met in Saudi Arabia, Angie and Ronnie. They're like my sisters. And then I have my village in the US and my core group, Angel and Alicia and Carmen and Sheila. And they each taught me something, and they each lifted me up and made me um, feel confident in who I am and be okay around other women. We're all different. I'm the shortest out of the bunch, I think. I don't know
How
you,
tall are
Alicia.
you?
5'3.5". I know I look taller on camera, only 5'3.5". And my
You
husband laughs
do.
at me because I'm gonna get that half inch. I'm 5'3.5". And I think I learned the most about confidence from my girlfriend Alicia. And Alicia is curvy, and she was like, "Girl, this is the only body God gonna give you. You gotta love every piece of it." And
Mm.
I learned she's from New Jersey, and she has a lot of girlfriends, so she grew up with a lot of women around her, and I didn't necessarily grow up with that. And so I learned from her, watching her and her relationship with her friends, how it should be, what healthy relationships with women should look like. And I learned from her, as a woman, this is how you should be treated by not just a man, but by your friends, about everyone. And this is why, because you're valuable, you're put here for a purpose. You need to
Right.
be proud of yourself and uplifting. And so I want to spread that message, because I remember being younger and not feeling that good about myself. I never felt that I was unattractive, but I
Mhm.
didn't feel like I was pretty. And that's because as a child, I didn't have a lot of people telling me that I was pretty. And so I just didn't feel good about myself. Now that confidence I got from surrounding myself with women who are just fabulous and who love themselves and are proud of themselves and their accomplishment, and just proud of being a woman and what they bring to the world.
You listen. Okay, somebody, Courtney Michelle. Hey, Nisi. Courtney, you can tell you look so peaceful. Yes.
Oh.
I'm just telling you, I done looked at so many videos. I'm like, that's what
Oh.
I'm talking. And I really appreciate it because empowering is a word, but I think
Mhm.
encouraging and
Oh
inspirational is
yeah.
definitely another one. And I think, it's so funny because when I did a couple of videos before, I'm just gonna be honest. When you're young, you think it's always gonna be tight. It's gonna
Girl.
be bright. Ain't nobody finer than me until you ain't.
Mhm.
Okay.
Until you have to work at it real hard. And Mother
Okay.
Nature's pushing, you're pushing, and you're pushing uphill, and she's up there pushing down, pushing down. I'm gonna hit you with this
It's
menopause.
real.
I'm gonna hit you real hard. Hmm.
And see, and what I love too is that we can age gracefully.
We can.
And that is one of the things I love about your videos. And so with that in mind, we're gonna look at a couple, shall we?
Okay.
We're gonna talk about it.
Okay.
And I'm gonna talk about your inspiration in these various ones. Okay. Oh, you see us. You see us laughing. Okay. Okay, so let's bring this up. This is what This is one of them. You remember this video that you did?
Recently.
Affordable fashion, the Walmart try on. Talk about that for those. Now, I know my mods are putting her information in the chat. This was key. One of the things I really love about what Angela has done, she does the high and the low.
Oh, yes.
She talk about that if you will.
Well, if you look back at some of my previous videos, what most viewers didn't know until like nobody knew, because I didn't talk about that I was actually living in Saudi Arabia until I moved back home. Because freedom of speech in America is not freedom of speech in the rest of the world. It didn't work that way everywhere. So I was very particular about what I said, and I just didn't want to upset anyone and have my channel I didn't want any backlash from that. So I didn't tell anyone that I was in Saudi Arabia before I moved back here, and so I didn't have access to Walmart or Target. If I got something from Walmart, because there are no Walmart and Targets in Saudi Arabia, I would have had to order it. It would have taken 3 to 4 weeks for me to get it, and then shipping it back was just not going to happen. So if you look back then, I don't have those videos, and that's one of the first things I did when I got back home was I think it was a Target haul and Walmart haul and stuff. But I grew up very modestly. We didn't have money. My mother raised 3 children, and we just didn't have money. I remember my mother going to the coal store getting bags of coal to burn in the wood stove in our house. So I wanted to do videos where that everyone could relate to, and not just
Right.
people who are making a certain income level. So I'm going to mix these different pieces, and I want to do a video that not just for a certain group of people that have financial success or that can financially afford these pieces, but something that I like, because I'm
Right.
always true. If I put it on and I like it, I say I like it. If I don't, I am not going to say I like it. If I do not like it, I'm going to tell you I don't like this.
Yeah.
But I wanted to do that and go do some bargain hunting at the Goodwill and thrifting. Like, I love doing that sort of thing, and I didn't have the opportunity to do that here. So I was really pleased to be able to do the Walmart haul. And then I saw some videos. People were doing these Walmart new in Walmart, and I was like, oh, I like these. So I quickly and ordered my stuff and found out. First, my husband and I went to Walmart. The things that they were showing online, they don't have in store. So a lot of pieces they have online, they don't have in store. So, and that's why I ordered the pieces, and I thought they were really pretty, except for that one dress. That one
Yeah,
dress
we
I
go.
didn't like.
I'm gonna scroll because I'm like, and I'm gonna tell you something. You did something. You talked about. You see her. You see her, ladies.
Are these really, really pretty sandals. And it says by Circus.ny. But if you look really, really closely at the very back under the Circus by, you'll see that these sandals are by Sam Elderman. And I think these are gorgeous. I love them. Now, they are a bit expensive, probably more expensive than you're going to see anything typically of a clothing item at Walmart. I think they're around $49.99. They do have these, and it's really, really pretty soft. Lavender, they have them in tan, they have them in a brown, which would be a nude for me. They have them in a white. They have.
Okay, listen. Production is on point. When Snap, I mean, listen, the colors with the. I'm like, shout out to production. He know
Yeah.
what he doing.
Yes, we work really closely together with videos like this. So I come up with the video ideas and the pieces. Like, I'll find the pictures, and I have to with this type of video, because he don't know nothing about fashion. I don't all the clothes in his closet, like the ones that he'd had that I didn't like, they kind of slowly drifted out. And I
Me
would
too.
steadily replace this shirt with this shirt and this shirt with this shirt. He didn't even see it. He didn't see it coming. But
Exactly.
I'll go and find the pieces, and then I sit with him like a video like this, and I say, okay, when I say the white sandal, here's a picture, put it right here. And so but he does the entire production of the video. But yeah, when these type of videos, we really, really work closely together to create these.
RM says she has these in brown.
Girl.
Go in, girl. That's what's up. Okay, so you and I love. Okay, so
the snake print, which is really, really pretty. I like the snake print. These are a wonderful dupe for the Tory Burch Miller sandals, which are $198 a piece. And I know that because I have my eye on a red pair. These comfortable. I've had these on. They are true to size. When I purchase sandals that are open toe,
I love how you give a real assessment and analysis of the product.
mm-hmm.
I love that. There was something else. Let's see here. Something else you tried on. I think it was that orange and red. Let me get to it.
I love that knit dress. It's so pretty.
Here we go, right here. Listen.
A little red stripe on the end of the sleeve that matches the red bottom. It has a bias cut on the bottom. This is just beautiful. The quality of the fabric, it's a knit fabric. It's really nice. It's a nice, not too heavy, not too lightweight. This is a size medium. It is form fitting and it is true to size. They do have this in a black and white as well, but I could not get this color. I am so in love with this dress. They did have it in like I think they call it a Kaya color. It looked like a chartreuse green to me, but they sold out. But I am completely in love with this dress. Now, if you have some business, if you don't want everybody to see in this dress, she's going to tell it all. So if you want to basically have to know your size, and you don't want everybody to know your business, I suggest.
See, I love the way you said that. See, if you got the business and you don't want to tell it all, you said she's gonna tell it all like you were talking about a girlfriend. Like, listen,
So
she gonna tell it all.
She gonna
So you
tell
might
it
want to
on
go
you.
ahead
She gonna tell
handle
all
some
your
things.
business. She gonna tell what you've been eating, what you ain't been doing. You know you ain't been on that bicycle.
I love it. And what I also love about, listen, ladies, one of the things I love about her channel, she puts the links in the description. One of the links, and I couldn't find the video when you were doing it with your Air Jordans on, right? You know what I'm talking about when you and your production would do. So I did, but this is the one I got. Y'all.
I have that dress in 4 colors, I think.
She did a review on this dress, and also she was strutting her stuff with her the pink and white Air Jordans.
Girl, let me tell you about them Jordans. You wouldn't believe the trouble you have to go through to buy a pair of Jordans. You just can't walk in the store and get them. You have to order them online. It's like a bid, and people are competing to get. It's crazy. So my daughter ordered the Jordans, and she was trying to get me a pair and get her. Her husband was trying to get one pair, and she was trying to get, and they ended up getting my size, sold out of her size, and she thought they were her size. So when they shipped to my house, they were too small for her. She was sick as a dog. She was sick with them shoes. But yeah, that pink dress, they look so cute with that dress.
And I have the blue one here because that's the one I ordered. And I'm gonna tell you something. I cannot wait to wear her.
I love that dress. Yeah, I did that, and one video, I don't know which one. I bought it for me, and I bought Shadil one too, so you could see it. And people love those videos. But she's a full-time mother, a full-time wife, a full-time student, and she works, and so she can't do videos with me that often. But I try to do videos. I think I've done at least 3 with her in them, and I'll buy the same item. And so you'll see it, and I wear a size 4. She wears a size 14. So you'll see that dress in the size 4 and size 14, which is a more realistic size for our everyday American woman. And so people love those videos. They just love them. Yeah, she loves it. It looks great on her too.
I think I saw the one with you and your daughter. Y'all had workout gear on. That was fun. That was fun. I see, and that is another thing because you keep it, for the average woman. And again, what the fashions that you show have a wide range of sizes.
Yes. And I'm always mindful when I'm shooting my videos and when I'm looking for items. I try to always find items for the curvy ladies too, because I know a size 4 is not the average American size woman. It's a size 12. And so I'm always, and my daughter is curvy. So and I love her, and most of my friends are as well. So I always try to make sure I have something in there for everyone. Yeah, I'm really conscientious of that.
Let's talk about the high-low. We showed briefly the Walmart haul, but talk about the high-low that you do. Like,
So what
some examples of that.
When I do a high-low, when I style and I make recommendations about style, my recommendation, if you're going to spend your money and you have a limited amount, is to put the heavier portions in your basics. Like if instead of buying a pack of Fruit Loom t-shirts, buy you a nice t-shirt. And it doesn't have to be really expensive. My favorite t-shirt is from Gap, and I have probably 15 of them because I love them that much and I wear them a lot. But when I purchase things, I spend most of my money on my shoes and my purses. So you could take a nice, well-made pair of shoes, and they don't have to be hundreds of dollars. But
Mhm.
unless you get a pair of shoes on really good sale for $50, a $50 pair of shoes is not going to hold up as well as a $150 pair of shoes for the most part. So my recommendation is, and what I do is spend my money on my shoes and my purses and some accessories, and then I'll buy budget pieces for my outfits. That's typically how I mix my highs and lows, because that purse is going to last me probably it's going to last me a lifetime. And
Mhm.
my shoes last a long time as well. And so that's how I do it. I told one of my girlfriends recently, one of my close friends recently, she has really nice clothing, but she doesn't like to spend her money on her accessories or her shoes or her purses. And I said, you cannot put on that $500 dress with them $3.50 earrings. It's gonna make your entire outfit is going to be off. Now you can put on a pair of $150 earrings and a $35 dress, and the outfit is going to look cohesive. It's going to look great. But you have a hard time flipping that around unless you're just going to have some studs. So spend a little more money on the accessories, on your purse, on your shoes, and it will always elevate a budget-friendly outfit. So that's what I usually do for the most part.
I think a member of your village is in here. You see,
Oh,
Sheila, your village is so
yes.
proud.
Yes.
Thank you for joining us, Sheila. And listen, to God rest her soul. One of my closest friends, who's also a sorority sister of mine, was named Sheila. I called her my soror
Oh,
twin because our birthdays were a week apart. So Sheila's a
oh.
good Sheila's a good person. I can attest to
Sheila
that.
is Sheila is my village sister that if anybody's gonna be in an argument, friendly argument, me and Sheila gonna go back and forth, back and forth. For me and Sheila. Oh my God, we've had the funniest moments, but I love her. She's like the big, because I'm the big sister. Yeah,
Mm,
my sister is younger than me, so Sheila's my older sister. She is my older
yes.
sister. Yeah.
And we could talk about that on another day because again, what I love it, you talked about your village. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure how old is your daughter?
30.
My daughter is 27, she'll be 28 in June. You know, I don't know if you can attest to this, but I remember, growing up, particularly in college, me and my girlfriends, we had rules. We had rules
Oh
that
yes.
you know,
Mm-hmm.
you ain't gonna walk out looking crazy.
Mm-mm.
You're not gonna embarrass yourself. You ain't gonna embarrass me.
Mm-mm.
I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna tell you the God's honest truth. You doing something stupid, you can still do it if you want to, but you can't say
Mm-hmm.
that I didn't tell you.
Yep. And when we going to the party together, and we all leaving the party together.
All that.
Yes.
And it wasn't this thing like, oh, you just jealous. Are you hating?
Mm-mm.
That,
Mm-mm.
but that's where we are now. And I'm so grateful that I know what, and it kind of exacerbates or, is heightened because you don't have real connections anymore because a lot of
Mm-hmm.
them are social media connections. So,
Yeah.
yeah. So ladies, if you're listening to me, one moment, Angela, one moment, Angela, one moment. So ladies, if you're listening to me, make contact, real contact with people. Aside from the social media, get to know them. And when you get to know them, you'll know that if they're telling you something, you may not like it,
Mm-hmm.
but it could be for your betterment. That's what real friends do. I'm back.
Yeah,
Okay.
I told my daughter when I started coming into my own, being comfortable with who I was as a human being, those ladies started coming into my life, and
Yes.
they are your village is irreplaceable. I'm trying not to cry because I see them see them in the chat, so I'm not gonna look over there because I'll start crying. Like
Oh,
when I went to Saudi Arabia, my daughter had some health issues, some heart issues from babies. Babies will do you dirty. Um, and so, and I wanted to, because that was my heart. I wanted to make sure she was okay. If something happens to her, I need to make sure she's okay. And
right.
so, Carmen, who she calls her other mama, Carmen was her healthcare power of attorney. for the entire time I was gone. Carmen was there when my second grandson was born. She was there for any health scare, everything for her. And that I was able to be comfortable because I know that she loves and adores. She calls her pretty. Hey, pretty. She loves and adores my daughter. And I know that any decision that I would make when it comes to her health, Carmen would make those decisions, the same decisions I would make. So it's so like I will always have a special place in my heart for her for that, because when you've given birth to somebody and that love that you have for that person and know that somebody else loves them just that much as well, it was just amazing. It was just, I knew she was always going to be okay while I was gone. It was just fantastic.
Shout out to your service in Saudi Arabia. And the reason why I really identify with that, I was a single mother, primarily right here, raising my daughter in the military. And, every place we were stationed, I had to entrust the care of my child to someone else. And that was, disconcerting, but to God be the glory. Every place we went, somebody loved my child the way that I would love them. And it made it easier, kind of like what you're talking about.
It does.
I could focus on my work because I knew they loved her. And now that she's grown, even when there were some times that we couldn't, see, Carmen said, I'm crying.
Oh,
Carmen said she's crying.
She is. Carmen is the baby of the village. She is. She probably is.
But even now, after, because, when your kids get grown, they, you try to talk to them, but they're going to do their own thing. But what I loved, and I'm not going to cry. And I don't know if she's in here listening, but even when I couldn't get to my daughter, sometimes even, because mom and daughter, sometimes we do this.
Oh, yeah.
My sister, my big sister, Tracy, who's not my biological sister, but she's my big sister. She would get in there and talk to my daughter. And sometimes I wouldn't even know they talked.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's Shadi and Carmen. They like this. It's like,
yeah.
Carmen, where you at? One day I called her. Where you at? Oh, we were talking about something. Oh, I was talking to her and I heard my daughter in the background. I said, it's like, she had just got her first apartment, and Carmen had gone to Best Buy or went somewhere and bought her some pots and pans and was meeting her in the parking lot at the mall. Oh, they like this. They're like, as long as you have someone you can talk to that I know loves and adores you and it's going to give you great advice, their relationship is amazing. I just love it. But Carmen is that kind of, she has lots of godchildren. So she's that kind of woman. But yeah. It makes you so, I was able to be comfortable and know that she was well taken care of, even though she was an adult, but she was well taken care of. Yes.
My daughter is 27 and a half. I say and a half. Married and has my granddaughter. And again, I have one child, which is my daughter, and she has her first child. And then I have 3 grandchildren. I have 2 bonus daughters and a bonus son with my husband. And then I have 2 additional granddaughters and a grandson through my husband. But even though my daughter is married and grown and married and mother, I still, the moment I'm like, well, mommy can do that. Mama can do, Mom, I got it. But she's mine.
Oh, yeah.
But let's change lanes, shall we?
Okay.
We talked about the love story.
He's over here.
Yoo-hoo! 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 Okay, let's talk about the love story. You said you came back from Saudi Arabia with a whole husband. Let's get down. So how did y'all meet?
We met at a women's, women's celebration.
African women's appreciation celebration
something event. Like that. Yeah. So we when you go overseas, there are these kind of online kind of chat groups. And what is it called?
Internations.com.
Okay.
And so a friend of mine and I had signed up for Internations, but I never really got on there and chatted. But a friend of mine at work was always on Internations. She met a lot of people that way. And so they chatted, and he had just gotten to Saudi. I had been there like 6 months, and he told her he was new there and he was looking for some friends. And she said, oh, I know a friend, because she's from the UK. I have a friend, and she was talking about me. I have a friend, I can introduce you to her, and she has a lot of American friends, so she can introduce you to her friends. But you can meet her. We're going to be at this this ball thing. He almost didn't come. Almost. And so they met and they bought the tickets, and so she introduced us at the party, and girl. He was at my side the entire night. And what was so cool, because he came with his friend Jason, and Jason sat over in the corner because Jason's married, and he was like, I'm not dancing with nobody. He said, he didn't move. And so he was so friendly, and he got up, he danced with me and all my friends, like he was the guy in the middle of.
I can't dance.
But he tried, and he two-stepped his way right on into our group. He got up, he was the only guy in a circle of like 6 women. And it was so amazing because when you live and work in another country, you have so many other expats living and working there. So all these different people with these different accents and personalities, and it was just amazing. So we had so much fun. But I'm gonna tell you the kicker. So he sat by, we talked the whole night. He's tapping me on my leg and just I thought he was just, how some people talk with their hands and he's touching. I was like, I didn't even for a minute second think that he was flirting with me or filling me up or trying to see if I liked him or anything. Because first of all, I knew that I was going to have a husband one day, but you couldn't tell me my husband wasn't going to be dark skinned, about 6'3". Black dark skin.
You couldn't tell me.
Okay. You couldn't tell me. So I didn't pay him no attention. I thought he was just really nice and friendly. And he was, would you like something to eat? And I was like, yeah, I like to take some fruit. So he went and got me some fruit, and we talked some more. And would you like something to drink? Sure, I'll take some Coke. And he went and got me some Coke. And probably about a week later, he asked me, could he fix me some? Could I make you some lunch? And that time in Saudi, if you're not married, you can't be in the car. There's no dating. You can't be meeting people at the single. And so, yeah. And so when he said, I'll cook you lunch if you come over to my place. Now, it's unlike America. Everybody gets, what is it? You go criminal background check, medical, everything before you can get there. From the rooter to the tutor, they're checking everything. And your background, everything is there with the fine tooth comb. So pretty much people are safe. But I did tell my girlfriends, this is where I'm going. Here's a license, everything before I went. And that's so right. I said, sure. And I went to his house for lunch, and he wasn't finished. He met me at the gate and let me in and walked me in. And I'm not finished cooking yet, but I got you. I remembered you like fruit, so I got you some fruit to eat on while I'm still cooking. I was like,
okay.
All right now. Wait a minute. But the fruit was watermelon. He was like, I took a risk, but I saw you eating the watermelon at the party. So some watermelon for you. And then he came back. He's like, would you like something to drink? I remember you like Coke. So I got you some Coke if you like some Coke. I said, oh, wait a minute now. Wait a minute. So I thought, okay, he's just putting his best foot forward. You know how they do when you first meet him. I told you he made my drink. That is who he is, and he has been that way from that day forth. If you had told me, I have thought about it, I would have showed you. So when we're shooting our YouTube videos, I get up in the morning. We try to do it in the morning. I get up, I start getting my makeup and stuff on. He goes in the kitchen. He comes back with my coffee. Here's your coffee, honey. And then he'll fix breakfast. Yeah.
It's interesting that you say that.
Oh, did you put?
Interesting that you say that.
Some orchids that she fell in love with yesterday at the grocery store. She doesn't know it.
Those orchids are so pretty.
I love these orchids. So while she was in bed this morning, I went to the grocery store, and she's in the bathroom now. Just got up, so I'm gonna surprise her.
I do.
Everything.
I do.
Only thing she doesn't steal is my underwear.
Because they're too big.
That's the only reason. Production for the win.
Listen, so we were in this brand new grocery store called Fresh. It's beautiful, and I love. So if you watch my videos, my flowers are always real. I'm like my grandmother. I like real plants. And we were walking by, and I was like, "Oh my God, that is so pretty." Listen, if you're ever in the doghouse, you can get me that right there. It'll get you out. Well, he wasn't in the doghouse. I was really surprised, very, very pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, I was trying to sneak out of the house. I told her I was going to do some work early in the morning. So she's like, "Oh, I'm going to sleep a little bit." So I snuck out and went and got some pastries and her flowers.
So sweet.
Okay, so we've heard her side. What's your side, Ben, aka production?
What would you like to hear?
When you saw, we heard how you kind of, did your, your moves or whatever. But when you saw her, like, what obviously it's obvious what you thought, but let's tell us anyway.
It was, I think everybody goes over there for various reasons, but a lot of people go over there to kind of have a reset. And I needed a reset. I needed a financial reset, a lifestyle reset, just to kind of a good reset. So I went there, and I wasn't looking for love. I wasn't looking for anything. I just wanted to find myself. And I had made a deal with God. I said, I'm not going to just settle. Here's my wish list. And I actually made out a wish list. And as I looked at this wish list for a wife that I wanted to spend the rest of my life with, I looked at that and I was like, there's just no way. There's no way. Because I went all out. I was like, well, if I'm going to make a wish list, it's going to be good. And 3 months after I got there, I met her. I was just looking for friends, looking for Americans and people that I could talk to, speak English with, really. Right. And I saw her. And when I saw her, she was wearing this little red dress and this little tight red dress.
The red dress. I got the dress off the mannequin. It was the only one left in my size.
And I thought she was
red dress. That's what's up.
I still have it.
I thought she was like 30, 32, 33.
Girl, he asked about age. I started laughing.
And you're like, boy, I have grandbabies. But no, I couldn't get her out of my head. I blew up her phone. Like I chased her. Like I pursued her. I wanted to get to know her. And it was just, there was no question in my mind that she was the one. And as we spent more time, it was really cool because we both lived in separate compounds, but like Angela said, you can't go out and do things together.
If you're not married.
Yeah, if you're not married. So all the time that we spent together was we were watching TV or watching movies or at the pool in my compound. And so we had in a very short period of time, we had a lot of quality time together.
A lot, yeah.
And so we probably were able to compress like 2 years worth of dating time into
6 months.
Yeah.
Because if you're single, you can't be out with another single man. It's illegal. It's illegal.
Really?
You can't be. Yes, you can't even be in the car with if you're not married and you're in the car with a man. It's illegal. So we were kind of forced to spend time at home, not my home, because I was single at the time. Now it's changed, but at the time when I went to Saudi, if you were not married, you had to stay in hospital housing. They had housing for the females and the males. The males' housing was off campus, but our housing was within the hospital walls. We had hospital housing. It was nice housing, but men were not allowed in the front door unless it was the maintenance man. He could have never come.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, they're very strict about that. Very strict. So we
Gina
spent
said they need to bring those rules to the States.
We spent a lot of time to go. We did vacation together though, which was nice because
And
we
then-
had lots of vacation days. On average, you 52 or more vacation days.
Yeah.
If you're contracting in Saudi Arabia. So we did a really nice vacations, but yeah, we spent a lot of quality time getting
took
to
a
know
couple
one
trips
another.
together.
Yeah. Without any outside distractions at that.
We came back home and I got to meet her family. She met my mom.
Mm-hmm.
And I asked Shadia if I could have her blessing to have her mother's hand in marriage, and we both cried, and she said yes. And that was so cool. And then a little later on, we went to Jordan. We did a tour of Jordan,
Petra,
and that was one of the most beautiful trips ever. Let me share a picture where I proposed. Is that okay?
Oh, please do.
Let's see. I'm new at the screen sharing thing here. Let's. There we go.
Okay.
Can you see it?
Bring it up. Let me bring it up. Whoop.
Yeah, so that building is called the Treasury, and it's the majority of the building is below ground. And I was like, I was turned. I was like, oh my God, you should see this, because you can't really tell right there. There's some grading in front of it, so you can look down in the grading and see a lot of the building that was underground. And I was like, oh my God, you should see this. And he wasn't answering me. I was like, what are you doing? I turned around, and when I turned around, he was down on one knee.
That's what's up.
Yeah, we just happened. Yeah, we had a tour guide, and so that's how he was able to capture the picture. We actually have a video, but that's how he was able to capture the picture for us.
Yeah, so that's carved straight out of the stone.
Yes, carved into the face of the rock.
They shot that Indiana Jones movie there.
I remember that movie.
Yeah, it's called The Lost City because it was buried under sand for I don't know how long, but for years and years and years.
Yep.
Beautiful. So Ben, now Angela said that she had an idea. She said she thought her husband was going to be this, that, and the other. When you had your list, she said, tall, 6'3", dark skin. On your list, did you have what your wife was going to look like?
Well, we joke about this all the time, but yes, I had a very specific. I had a very specific
type. I know what his type is,
and I like dark hair, a darker skin. Like, I didn't expect all this chocolate. But the funny thing is, every single item that I had on my list, she fulfills, but with a whole lot extra. So God is up there, and He's like, "Ha, have fun with that one. You asked." And I gave it to you.
I really gave
all
it
of
to
that.
you.
And check this out. She said that you almost didn't go to the ball.
Yeah, I almost didn't. I was with a couple of my friends, army buddies from the army when we served in Germany together, and they were over there contracting as well. And so it was going to be our first time out of the house, and they were just not feeling it. They were like, "Oh, I don't want to go," because they both had significant others and stuff. And I was like, "Man, just support me." And they're like, "Fine." So I finally talked them into going. And if I hadn't gone, I just don't think
you would have missed that on all this.
Yeah.
Oh, they say, okay, listen, I'm telling you, and I shared. Now, how long have you all been together and married? How long?
So we met in August. He proposed the next August?
I think so, yeah.
He proposed about a year later, and we were married.
It was September.
That November, and it was all in God's plan because if you live in Saudi, if you're Christian, you can't get married in the country. And Ben is from Montana, and Montana is the only state of the 50 states where neither of the people that are getting, one of the people that are getting married has to be from Montana, but neither of you have to actually be physically in the state. Montana is the only one.
Yeah, it's called
proxy by marriage.
Yeah.
So he contacted lawyers. They sent us the papers. We took the papers to the embassy. The lady was like, "I've never seen this," and signed them at the embassy. So it was notarized and everything. Mailed them to the lawyers. The lawyer had a husband and wife team go up to the courthouse and signed under our name. So we got we were sitting on the floor in his apartment and watching television when he was checking his email, and we found out we were married legally.
Like 2 days after that, it really happened.
Yeah.
Nice.
So we said our vows to each other. It was just me, him, and Jesus. It was the three of us there. We said our vows.
Okay, Alicia said something to hear you say. You see what she said?
She said- That's my sister. That's one of my sisters. This is one of my village sisters.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
you know, and I say Mr. Randolph is giving me that yummy look. That's what I've been
All
saying.
right, now I'm going to use that one.
Mr. Randolph is giving me that yummy look. But you know, it goes to show exactly what our timing and our idea of what we think we want. God has something different because I think I shared with you. I met my husband online, right? Yeah. For Angela's subscribers, okay. I met my husband online. We've been together. It'll be 4 years. We've been together. Okay. Well, let me put it like this: we'll be married 3 years in May, and together 4 years in July. From the time we met to the time we got married, we had known each other for 10 months. And I almost missed him because, and he kind of missed me because he saw my profile and read my profile, but he didn't reach out to me. I'm like, so, you know, on online dating, you can go and see who's looking at your profile. So I went to his profile and I looked at it and I loved his smile. You know, I'm a sucker for a pair of pearly whites. So when I saw that, I, you know, hit, hey there. And, you know, he hit me back and we just started communicating. But the fact of the matter is, if I would, because he didn't reach out to me, even though he said that he had saved me as under his favorites. I'm like, well, how would I have known that? But he later said on an interview that he didn't think that I would be interested in a truck driver. I'm like, I don't know why, but he, had I not saw that he had looked at my profile and I not reached out, we would have missed each other. But it was a reason that I happened to look because there were several guys that looked at my profile, but I didn't think to reach out to them. Right. I thought to reach out to him.
They weren't the one. They weren't the one God hadn't planned for you.
And it has been, I mean, you know, I think we talked about, I've never been happier in my life.
Me either. There's just no comparison. I think God prepared, I feel like, okay, let me take you through these bad relationships so you can really, really appreciate when you get this good one. And you can, it's easier to forgive when you know what you could have had on the other hand, to forgive and forget. Yeah. I'm very appreciative and I know what he brings to my life and he makes me a much better person. I'm laughing because I'm thinking about sometimes, you know, as a YouTube, well, when you're doing social media and sometimes people will just come on and sometimes people will make really ugly comments and he laughed because look at his face so red. And Hood Angela always has some comeback and he's like nope, you can't write that, you can't say that, honey. We can't do that,
He keeps me right here. He
keeps me level-headed. Yeah, so then I call one of my friends and say, girl, look what they put on my page. Look what they put on my page. He does. He makes me a better person.
See, it can't be two of y'all.
It can't be.
You know, and I was just saying the same thing with my husband because again, we was closed on our house a little bit ago, and they messed it up so badly. I mean, we did it, but I mean, the incompetence was just immeasurable. Ooh. And I'm trying to let him handle. But at one point, out of everything they messed up, and the least that you could do is get my name right. Out of everything else that they had messed up, I went off. But my baby was like, he calmed me because I'm like, there could not be two of us. He had the yin and the yang.
Yeah.
So thank you, Brother Ben. Because you you said Hood Angela, and like no one wants to see that. You know, they don't. No one wants to see that.
They don't want to see her.
No.
Ben calls her Shell Nene because my family calls me Shell from Mashelle. He calls her Shell Nene, honey. Shell Nene, you just go talk to her, squash it down.
And I don't know if Lucky Marie's in here, but I'm a Gemini. I'm like, which gem you gonna get?
See that face? See, I tried to tell you, honey, put your neck, straighten your neck up.
Hey, what you get? Okay, so I, and I want to thank you because again, I really wanted you all to share your story because again, I believe, particularly at this point in my life and even before, I was get love where you find it, and it's sometime where you least expect it.
Lord, yeah. Because I had no clue. I would have never thought, and I was like, I think God blessed me because I trusted. I prayed about it.
Yeah.
Please let me know if I'm not supposed to go. I'm going to trust that you're going to take care of me. And when I say I didn't have an ounce of trouble, I never felt unsafe. Never, not one day that I was there. Because I prayed. I knew there were people praying for me and covering me in faith while I was there. I never had any trouble. I didn't at all. And it's going to another country where you don't speak the language. I learned some words here and there, but the majority of people there don't speak English. I mean, can you imagine going to the grocery store, going to the gas station, just everywhere you go, like meeting people that don't speak English, and it's hard to communicate. But I didn't have any trouble at all whatsoever. So I went on faith, and he rewarded me because I believe in him, and I knew that he would take care of me.
He rewarded you with a whole husband.
With a whole husband.
Okay, so do you mind taking a few calls and see if anybody wants to call up? Do you mind?
No, I don't at all.
Okay, so just a moment. I'm gonna put the link in the chat if anybody wants to come and join us and ask Miss Angela, Mashelle, and also Ben, also known as Production.
Yeah, and I call him Production because he truly produces all of my videos. He has from day one. Like I know how to turn the camera on, and I probably could film if I had to, because I've videoed him turn the camera on and doing it. But yeah, that's about it. I don't know how to use it. He does all of it. He does all of the editing for my videos and takes all of my pictures for Instagram and YouTube, all of them.
And they're straight fabulous.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks. I mean, fabulous.
It's a lot of work.
And have you modeled before, Mashelle? I mean, Angela, have you modeled before?
Oh no.
What?
That's part of what she did during that 9 months of research. She was, I would watch her learning how to model. And she's got a really, really good eye anyway. It's natural, that artistic flair that she's got. And so she picked it up really, really quick. And she taught me. She's like, well, you need to be at this angle taking the picture.
Yeah.
And
you need to be lower than me. So if the person taking your picture is lower and shooting up, it makes you look taller, it makes you look longer at that angle. Yeah. And I watched a lot of if you look at the models and pictures and watch them modeling, I watch the poses, and, you have like 4 or 5 poses stuck in your head that you need to do every time, because the jailhouse pose ain't gonna cut it. So you need to
you squatting down like, hey.
Not at all. And unless you want a profile picture, you need to, no matter what angle your body is at, your face needs to be facing the camera. So you can turn your body sideways, but your face needs to face the camera and try to be at its best angle. Yeah, that takes some learning for sure.
Well, you did. Like I'm surprised because I'm like, I look at your poses, and even the picture we did for the thumbnail. I'm like, okay, angles, I see you. I see.
Oh yeah, but you're taking in one video shoot, we probably take 50 to 75 pictures, and I made it's always less than 10, probably about 5 or 6 pictures that I'll like out of all of that. We take a lot of pictures.
Somebody's pretty particular.
Awesome. Huh?
You talk about somebody's particular. Boy, you finna see these black circles under my eyes.
I'm like, honey, it's good enough. She's like, no, take more.
No, I edit the pictures. He edits the videos. I edit all of my pictures myself because I know exactly what I want to do. I don't have to do a lot of editing because we have really good equipment. We have
Mhm.
really nice cameras. And so I don't have to do a lot of editing, and we have lots of lighting. So you can't see right now. We have 2 lights that are shining on me that are, how tall are those? About
3 feet.
about
A
3 feet
big, huge
that are just sitting there
softbox.
huge, 2 right
Wow.
here. Yeah, if
Wow.
not, then I look not that I mind looking dark, but the picture in the background is not bright and that didn't look
And then
right.
we have another light back up there, a hair light.
So you
Mhm.
see how it's bright right here? So there's a light
Yeah.
shining down. You can see it right there on my forehead. Yeah, there's a light back there that shines down on the head, so it gets backlighting. It illuminates behind you, and you can see the lines and stuff. He learned all of that.
Wow. Now we talked about this before because and I'm just going to bring it up because I asked you, do you do consultations?
I've never done one. I'm not opposed to it. I've actually been watching. There's a young lady on YouTube. I don't remember her name, but I did write her information down. And I'm thinking about taking a color matching class where you can look at an individual and determine what colors look best on their skin tone and what looks best for them. And I'm thinking about doing something like that. So I've never done it. I wouldn't be opposed to it, though.
Like come in, like even if you do a video conference and someone in their closet and you're like, oh no, get rid of that, get rid of that.
Oh, that'd be easy. I could do that real well.
Okay. Say, no, that'll never do. That'll never do.
Work for you. It's not gonna work for you.
Huh?
I would say it's not gonna work for you.
See, because again, I'm just gonna be honest. I have bought a lot of things over the years, and I end up maybe wearing them once and twice. I'm like, I don't like that. I don't, and it's not because I like it when I see it, but I don't like it on me.
Right.
And whereas I used to be able to see something and pick it up, oh yeah, that looks great, and it did, but it's a whole different thing when things kind of move around.
Yeah, I probably would start like if you had a suit and you weren't feeling, are you not feeling the color of the suit? Is it the cut? Is it the fit? Because the fit can be fixed for the most part. If it's a well-made suit, my recommendation is to have it altered. If you've gained a little bit of weight, sometimes they can take out some of the hem and alter it a little bit. But if you've lost weight, you really need to get your pieces altered so they look a lot better on your body and shaped to fit your curves and whatnot.
Okay. Y'all hear that? Her information is in the chat. Moderators, if you put it in, I see people put your channel in the chat. So you also have a website.
I do.
So tell us a little bit about your website.
So we created the website after we talked a while, and it's angelamashelle.com because I had a lot of the viewers asking, because I always put the links of items in my description box, but I would have a lot of the ladies would comment and ask me, where'd you get that shirt or where'd you get those pants? And I said, I'm tech challenged. I am very tech challenged. And I said to my husband, I think it would be a lot easier if there was a picture rather than trying to find it in the description box, because we did a whole video on how to find the actual description box, because it took me a while to figure out when people were saying it's in the description box, what are they talking about? And so we did a video on how to find a description box in the video. And I said it would be a lot easier if there was a picture. Like everybody can go to Google, type in angelamashelle.com.
Nice.
And then scroll down to my latest YouTube video, click on that video, and the items are there in picture. If you click on the picture, it takes you straight to the store where you can purchase it. So that's a lot easier than trying to figure out the description box in the thumbnail and stuff. I mean, after the thumbnail and stuff. So that's what we did. And then I decided also, while I was doing that, I would put a spot on my website where I could highlight small businesses and that sort of thing. So the first one was my friend KJ. If you go back and look at some of my older videos, you'll see a lot of artwork in my house. And she's a person that painted. I just fell in love with her. And I probably have about 7 or 8 of her pieces.
We did a video about her, right?
Yeah,
when we left Saudi.
Yeah.
That's a great video.
Yeah. So she was the first artist, first business on my website. And And of course, I've been telling Shadia, we need to do your picture so we can put you on the website. She's so busy, but we're going to do her next. But I wanted to do that because, sometimes those small businesses are struggling to find the people to connect with. And I want to be that person that could bring those connections together. So that's why we created the website. And I try to update the pictures. Like spring is around the corner, so I'll be updating the pictures. I have a for sale place on there. So I go at least every 2 weeks and update the for sale items, on sale now items on there.
Oh, nice.
And I started doing blogging. So that's a challenge for me. I like it. But actually writing the words out is challenging. But I'm trying to step out of my comfort zone with a lot of things this year. Like I'm not a real neutrals person. So I'm trying to do some videos with some neutral looks because most people are really comfortable with white and cream and beige and brown and black looks. And so I'm trying to do that because I like a lot of color all the time. And writing is challenging for me. So I haven't done it since grad school. So I want to start blogging and, writing down my ideas and what I'm thinking about and things that are in the media right now and that sort of thing. So I have a place to do all of that on the website, which is really nice.
Now you say you all are in Texas. So how long have you been in Texas?
Since August, and I love it because I grew up in North Carolina. Texas feels like North Carolina on steroids. When they say everything is bigger in Texas, oh, they're not lying. Let me just say, I know to everybody in Texas, I'm from North Carolina. Y'all cannot touch our barbecue.
When you say North Carolina barbecue?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you serious? You think so?
Oh, I know so, ma'am.
I didn't, because my mom lives in North Carolina. She lives in Fayetteville. I'm like, but again, I grew up in Oklahoma City and I live in Texas too. I'm like, I don't know. It's something about that, the Kansas City, Oklahoma, and Texas barbecue. I mean, I just saying.
No, ma'am.
I like it all.
It's spicy. Our barbecue is sweet and has sauce on it. Like we went to a barbecue place. I was like, what did they do with the sauce? Why no sauce? And then they brought some sauce and put it on there, and it was really heavily spicy. And I ain't found a good biscuit here yet either. They don't have. I had to learn how to make my own biscuits. He was like, "Oh my God,
look into that.
Quit with the biscuits."
I'll have to look into that. Now, have y'all okay? So, but you like the Texas area?
I love it. We stay in one of the suburbs outside of Dallas. A couple of weeks ago, we went to Houston. It was beautiful as well. I really, there's lots of places to go to eat. There's lots of things to do, entertainment wise, theaters, museums, and it's just really nice. It just feels like North Carolina on steroids to me. I really love it.
Okay, somebody said, okay, oh yeah, there's a throwdown bet, Kansas City, Texas, Carolina bar. I don't know.
You can't beat Carolina barbecue. You can't beat it.
Because I mean, I lived in Oklahoma and Texas, but I got to say that Kansas City barbecue, that was awesome.
I haven't tasted Kansas City barbecue.
That's some good eating.
I think you'd like it.
I'm getting hungry. Anyway,
I know it sounds good.
Okay, so now you talked about when you started your channel. Were you surprised at the growth? Because you're like over 90K now.
I know it's always been slow and steady. And then last year, was it around April?
Last March? End of March, beginning of April. Yeah.
We had around 20. How many did we have? We gained 30,000 subscribers in
3 months.
3 months. It was
or less. Yeah.
We were like, oh,
it was ridiculous. I don't know what happened.
We
had
have
one video that hit really
we have
hard.
No clue what happened. I don't know if my channel showed up somewhere and it just hit that growth spurt, but it was, and that took us to like 80,000 really fast. And we started getting collaboration requests, and it was fantastic. And we've been steadily growing every month since, which has been fascinating. Yeah, it's just amazing seeing all the hard work that we've put into it pay off. So I'm excited about the continued growth.
Mhm.
And what I try not to do, and what I actually don't, when I go, because I watch a lot of YouTube videos, I don't compare myself to those videos. When I'm watching for something that will inspire me, something that can make me better. I'm not
Mhm.
watching or looking to see, oh, how many subscribers do they have compared to how many I have, because it's different. And YouTube has really blown up in the last three, especially during the pandemic. It just kind of really
Absolutely.
blew up. And
Absolutely.
so I don't compare myself to other channels that way. I'm just actually looking at their channels to grow as a
Mhm.
channel myself, and see, if I should probably do that.
Yeah.
That looks really nice the way she does that. Maybe I'll try that on my channel, that sort of thing. And I'm always looking for channels that I can support as well.
Mhm.
That I go through my comments when I do my videos, and I'm replying to comments. If somebody's name looks like it may be a YouTube channel, I'll click on it and go to their channel. And if it's a YouTube channel, I'll watch one or two of their videos and comment. So I'm always trying to support others as well.
Well, it was one video that I watched. I can't think of it, but you talk, I think, the 5 things about self-care. And one of the things you talked about is giving.
Oh yeah.
And I think what you just shared, that's a part of giving too. And I think that's really, it's very inspirational. And you said something else that I really resonate with, because since I started this past May, if you're not grounded and you don't keep at the forefront of your why, it's easy to get caught up in like, well, maybe I should be doing this because this person's doing this, and maybe I'm not growing fast enough. But again, like you said, slow and steady. And I
Slow and
think what
steady.
helps me is to remain conscious or present to why I did this in the first place, because this
Yeah.
was a hobby. We didn't talk about this during our talk earlier, but I don't think we did, but I started my channel in May because as a way of therapy for myself, because I had considered taking my life in May, and I was literally walking and having a battle in my mind whether or not to walk out in traffic. And and God kept me from that.
Come on.
And so, I immediately got into therapy, and, being a veteran, I'd already had therapy, but I had to intensify it. But but with that, I kind of started this the YouTube thing is like a video journal for myself, because you talk about, right, I don't like my own handwriting, and because they want you to journal sometime, and I'm like, I don't want to do that. So I just did this initially as a form of a video journal.
Right.
But in the midst of doing that, I said, well, maybe, me sharing some of the things that I was dealing with, maybe it'll help somebody else too. And that is what started this thing. So again, even as I grow, I want to stay true to why I did this in the first place. And if I do that, I will not allow myself to go off on these 10, and be concerned about what somebody else is doing, and just focus on, like you said, maybe go to them and get some inspiration. Well, maybe I could talk about that, but not overthink it
No.
to whereas I'm thinking, well, maybe I should be doing this. So I think that's very, very important.
Yeah.
Very important.
Yeah. I try not to compare myself to other channels,
Right.
because it just makes there's always going to be someone bigger, better, prettier, to all of that. And so it just dampens the joy. And so
Right.
I try to never do that. I'm unique. I'm an individual. I'm not supposed to look like her. She's not supposed to look like me. And it's okay. There's room. My motto is there's room for all of us at the top. That's an illusion that it's just a tiny space for one person at the top. There's room for all of us. And so I am all about lifting up and pulling up, and reaching up and pulling up. So that is me. There's room for all of us. If there's something that I have that I can help you, then just let me know. I'm always trying to lift someone up, because again, I didn't have a lot of money growing up. My mother had very little money, and people helped us a lot all the time and gave us clothes. And people were always very generous. There was an older lady down the road. Her name was Miss Rosie, and she just adored me. And she was very kind to my mother, and people always saw that my mother took very good care of us. So they would give us clothes, and so I'm always that person I appreciate that so much, and I never forget that. So I'm always trying to help the next person, the next man or next woman, but particularly the next woman, if I can do that. So it brings me joy. It just feels like, it feels natural. It feels like I'm trying. It feels like that's just what I should do.
Well, it says we should be, it's been said that as we are blessed, we should be a blessing. And
Mm-hmm.
I remember you said because of that, you've never, and I'm paraphrasing, you've never been in a position of lack. You've always been blessed because, again, you're giving. And I think that's very, very important.
Mm-hmm.
Very important. Well, it doesn't look like anybody wants to call in and read a couple of chats, or what I'm trying to say. Yeah, comments. I agree. Miss Angela gave us 40 plus audience. Ladies, hope and feel very specific niche. So glad that God has. And thank you so much. I appreciate it. And Miss Carmen says,
That's my baby.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And I tell you, going back to my husband, I told him that I wanted to do this, and
Mm-hmm.
And so doing was going to be sharing my life,
Mm-hmm.
and he's part of that. But he's been very supportive. And again, if he felt like I was getting too overwhelmed, he said, "This still is a hobby, right?" And that was his way of saying, "Okay, keep it here, keep it here." So I thank God for him. But any last words before? Thank you so much for you and being here. I am inspired by your story. It makes my heart sing. And again, you are just, I'm sure Ben, this, you see her every day. You are absolutely gorgeous.
Oh, thank you.
Not only physically, but your inner beauty radiates from the inside out. Truly.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
And I'm so grateful that you gave me this opportunity.
Oh, thank you. I'm so glad. I told Ben when we hung up, oops, I'm sorry. After I talked to you, we hung up, I was like, I like her. We're going to be friends. We're going to be friends. I'm going to have to meet her for lunch or dinner. We're just going to have to meet up. I really like her. It felt like talking to one of my old friends. It didn't feel like talking to someone I had never met before. So you just resonated with a lot of my life. It just felt like there were a lot of similarities and parallels. So, I'm so happy that you gave me this opportunity. I'm blessed that I feel blessed that God allowed me to be here, and that I stuck to my commitment of, yes, I'm gonna show up. If someone asks, I'm gonna show up, even though I thought I would be nervous, but I'm not feeling nervous at all. So I'm pleased that I did it. I really am.
Well, you got your rock right next to you too, so you're nervous. Rock right next to you. I love it. And I've got to say, I'm sorry, I'm just going to go there. I love the way he looks at you. Okay, one last thing, because you did say when we were talking, you said you wanted someone that was kind.
Oh, yeah. When you grow up, I had it was rough. It was rough when you're fighting and you're used to fighting and all of that all the time. And so you bring that, it's kind of in your DNA. So you're always ready to, if you grow up fighting, I stay on ready. Like, okay.
Just in case somebody will start something.
Anything pop off, I'm ready. But as you get older, nobody wants that. I don't want that. I don't want to argue with people all the time. I don't want to be fighting and bickering. And my life was hard enough. I need somebody that's going to be kind to me, that's going to be gentle with me. I want you to be a man, but I want somebody that's going to be kind, because if you're rough around the edges, then my natural instinct is to fight back, to protect myself.
Right.
And I just need somebody to be kind and hold my hand. And I'm going to open myself up, and I'm going to be vulnerable, and I'm going to give you all of me, and I'm going to support you. I'm going to have your back 110%. You don't ever have to worry about me not having your back, worry about me not being there for you. And so if you can give me that, you can show me kindness and treat me with gentleness, it's going to soften my heart. And that's what he brought that kindness and that gentleness and that understanding and that patience into my life. And I feel like I brought that his desire and need to have someone that's going to be supportive of him, and someone that's going to uplift him, and somebody that's going to believe in him. And he don't ever have to worry about, well, if I mess up, is my wife going to be upset? No, you're human. I love you. It's us. If you mess up, then we messed up. We gonna fix it together. I'm here, and I'm gonna be here till death do us part. When I said that, I meant that. I don't know what anybody else said it did, but me, Angela, meant that. And so we yes, we will hold humans, but we will hold with cracks. And so he was able to fill in my cracks with a little bit of mortar, and I was able to fill in his cracks with a little bit of mortar. And together we made two very strong human beings that are now one. And so, yeah, he's sweet and kind.
And you know, and it doesn't, and see when, and again, kind of like I grew up, we had some tough times too. And again, it's funny that I didn't know that you could actually have a good relationship and you don't argue.
We rarely.
I didn't know that. I mean, we've had disagreements, but we don't argue. And I didn't know that was possible. Okay. I mean, seriously.
But yeah, I can't. When you're around that as a child, that yelling, I can't. If you're gonna yell, you need to talk to somebody else. I cannot. I just cannot do it. And so I can't stand that. I can't take it. So yeah, we have discussions. We may have some heated discussions, but we don't even really have. I think we've probably had honestly less than 5 in the entire time we've been knowing one another. We sit down, and because I grew up, children are to be seen and not heard. And so I had to learn how, if my feelings are hurt, to say my feelings are hurt, rather than holding it in, and then my feelings got hurt today, and 2 weeks later my feelings got hurt, and next thing you know, my feelings don't got hurt 10 times, and then I blow up. And so, but because he is kind and gentle, I felt safe in saying, honey, you hurt my feelings, or this is happening. But we sit and we talk about, because again, we spent a lot of time together in Saudi.
We learned how to talk.
We learned how to talk and communicate with one another.
I think one of the biggest components of that is we realized early on how differently we grew up. Completely. I'm a mountain man from Montana.
He's the son of a preacher man.
Yeah. So we grew up so completely different. Our cultures are so different. So understanding that.
He had never had grits.
Okay. Okay. Continue.
Let me tell one story though. What did
Okay. Okay.
What was it I was cooking?
What's this one?
Which one? I asked you for something. How do you cook yours?
Oh, mac and cheese. Mac and cheese.
Wait a minute.
Making some macaroni and cheese. I said, "Do you have any eggs?" She said, "What do you need eggs for?" What do you need eggs for? I said, "I'm making macaroni and cheese. What do you need eggs for?" I said, "Well, how do you make your macaroni and cheese?" Well, the box doesn't call for any eggs. The Kraft with the powdered cheese. I said, "We're not doing that, sir."
Oh, wow. Really? Wow. I'm sorry.
Girl, he ate that first macaroni and cheese. He was like, "Oh my God, this is so good.
This is what I've been missing my whole life."
It's dangerous. Oh,
my mom was from South Carolina. That's all I'm saying.
It's so good.
Yeah.
He wants to back his eyes like,
I know.
Oh my God.
I'm not swallowing a little bit right now.
This is so good. But what were you saying, honey?
I don't even remember.
I'm sorry.
It doesn't matter.
But but Angela, you make a good point, because my husband's the same way. I mean, and it's funny because he's so kind. He doesn't have to ask for anything. I mean, I'm trying to think of ways constantly, because he is so kind and patient and loving. And again, I think, and I'm saying this to say, because it is possible. I'm not saying it's easy, because like I tell women on my channel, I couldn't guarantee it for myself. I couldn't, but I knew that I needed to do something to make myself better and more accepting of myself and more in tune with myself, to enable me to recognize a man such as him. And I guess that smile means you agree.
Yes, yes, 110%. I do. I really do. I think I had to work on myself before meeting him. I think my just to give my, when you're sometimes you just go from one relationship to another and you don't give yourself any rest, any space to figure out who you are
Right.
without someone, and to be happy alone and enjoy your own company so that you can figure out, okay, I am good company for someone. So
Yeah.
it was nice. I had a really nice little rest period in Saudi before I met him to get myself together and just clear my mind of not always being the one people are calling and going. And so I just just be peaceful and just relax and just be me and just answer to me and just have no one calling me or doing all these things. And I was able to be open at that time and just be there and ready when when he approached me.
When he would put those dance moves on you,
When
that's
he put the
right.
dance, when he brought me
It
that
was
watermelon,
that
he brought that
two-step that did it,
watermelon, that Coke.
and a watermelon.
Okay, I am not going to keep you any longer, but I want to thank you both
You.
for coming and joining me. This has been okay. Somebody said, "Hey, Big Bad Bull." Yeah, it's one of my YouTube nephews. I got nephews and nieces up in here.
Oh,
But I thank you both for joining me, and I thank for your subscribers and supporters that came over and
yeah.
joined in the chat. I greatly appreciate it. And if you're so inclined, I would love your subbing to my channel. But definitely, please like the video as you come in or leave. Do you have any final thoughts before we go?
No, I think we should do this again later on in the year. What do you think?
I say, I think we should do when you definitely when you tell me what I need to get rid of in my closet.
I'm gonna make a trip to your house
We should
just for
vlog
you. Just for you.
that.
I'm trying to get it together. I'm on my way down, losing weight. I've lost about 50. I'm trying to get down to,
Girl,
my
that is
fighting weight.
fantastic.
Hmm.
That is fantastic. I know you feel amazing because you're
I do.
looking good.
I do, and I tell you, my knees are really excited about it
Oh wow.
because I have a granddaughter. She's 10 months, and I can get down on the floor with her and
Yeah.
actually be able to get back up.
Yes.
So that's really exciting. So yeah, I absolutely do. So I'm gonna go ahead and drop you down, and I'm gonna get back with you before we disconnect. So I'm just gonna drop you back down and be right back with you. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Great.
Thank you all for joining me. This has been so much fun. I'm so grateful to her and Ben for joining me. If you have any suggestions or other things that you would like me to maybe content you would like me to go into or any type of suggestions, I welcome them. My email address is in the description. Thank you again for joining us. And wow, I had fun. I put myself together today, and I had to represent. You know, so that is it. Until next time.